Hello there, my name is Ashley and today we'll be talking about how I built my Hugo. Let's get right into this. Alright, so Hugo has 11,317 HP, 2,812 attack, 977 defense, 95 impact, 53 over 186 crit damage, 86 anomaly mastery, 144 anomaly proficiency, 0% pen ratio, and 1.2 energy regen. I'm personally really happy with my Hugo's stats. I do want to improve a couple of his artifacts, but overall I think he's doing really well. Now, W engine wise, I personally have him on Marikacho's Desire, gives him some nice crit rate. When his EXP special attack or chain attack hits an enemy, the equipper's attack increases for 8 seconds, which this can increase his attack when it does his main damage. Well, the target is attribute anomaly. This is increased by 9.6. Now, another one that could work well is Gilded Blossom. You get attack increased by 9.6, and damage dealt by EX special attack is increased by 24%. So, when you do his E, granted, it might be the alphabet thing that actually counts for the damage multiplier. I'm not sure. Now, you could also put him on Street Superstar. Which one was that one? This one. It gives you a attack, and then Squad Ranchers launches the chain attack, which he typically runs off after his end of the chain attack. Gains 1 charge stack, stacking up to 3 times. Upon activating their own ultimate, the equipper consumes all charge stacks, and each stack increases the skill's damage by 15%. I mean, this could work really, really well for Hugo, especially if you're using his ultimate, which you will be using. Now, there were 2 more I would like to go over. There is the Lunar Desecrant. It gives you attack percent, launching chain attack or ultimate increases the equipper's damage by 15%. So a lot of his damage is going to get increased by 15%. And then also Lunar Noveluna, which gives you some crit rate when launching an EX special attack. Generates 3 energy for the equipper. This effect is triggered once every 12 seconds. I think those are all pretty good ones. I personally really like him on the Marikacho's Desire, the crit rate, then the additional attack, and then this one I don't think he triggers it all that much, but I like it a lot. I don't think Gilded Blossom also sounds really, really solid. And then this one, honestly, if you're using his alt plenty, I mean, yeah, that could be really good. Now, drive disc wise, I know the recommended sets have him on a 4-piece Hormone Punk and a 2-piece Woodpecker Electro, or 4-piece Hormone Punk, 2-piece Branch and Blade Song, or 4-piece Woodpecker, 2-piece Branch and Blade Song. I personally have him on a 2-piece Astral Voice, 2-piece Hormone Punk, and a 2-piece Branch and Blade Song. This is because I don't like the 4-piece Hormone Punk for him, because I find that the 20-second cooldown is just too long. I find that Lycan and Lighter build up the stun bar quickly, so he's not actually getting the attack increase. And also, I will accidentally swap onto him sometimes. This is just me not succeeding, but I will accidentally swap onto him sometimes, so that will set it. I don't like it. I prefer to have it to where, I prefer the extra 10% attack bonus that I get from Astral Voice. Then this one gives me 10% attack bonus, and then I get the crit bonus from Branch and Blade Song, crit damage bonus, because I don't need a crit rate bonus that the Woodpecker's Electro offers. My Hugo's crit rate's good enough already. Maybe sometime I'll put him on. I don't really like him on the 4-piece. It's not like the 4-piece is bad, but. Now, other ones, you could do Polar Metal. Which one was that one? I believe Polar Metal also has a attack percent. Oh, no, it was 10% ice damage bonus. That's why I had it down. You could also put him on 2 pieces of this to give him more ice damage bonus with the additional ice damage bonus. he's going to do more ice damage. Simple enough. Anyway, maybe someday I'll try putting him on a 2-piece of this and get rid of like the Astral Voice or something. Or this one. I'm definitely keeping on the Blade Song one to give him that extra crit damage. Now, skill-wise, I say always do your alphabet first, and then for him, I would say E or Alt, the E and the Alt, and then you could do the chain with the base and the dodge not being as important. Sorry, pulled up the wrong thing. As you can see, yeah, alphabet, E, Alt, base attack, and then chain. Interesting. I wonder why that is. Anyway, I was thinking chain because you typically go off the assist once you're done. Now, his C1, when triggering Totalize, the effect of Dark Abyss Reverb, which is like his, it's a state he gets put into, if I'm recalling the steps correctly, after he gets, after his chain attack is used, and after he stuns an enemy. So if he does one or the other, he will be put into the Dark Abyss state, which will multiply his damage. Anyway, crit rate will increase by 12, while crit damage will increase by 30. Now his C2, when he hits, when his ultimate triggers Totalize, it will not end the stun state, which this sounds like such a good con. And then when Totalize is triggered, the skill will ignore 15% of the enemy's defense. Now his C3 just increases the level of his base attack, dodge, assist, special attack, and chain attack by 2. His C4, so when the charge shot, so I think it's like the 4th hit of his base attack is what the charge shot is. Hugo's attack against the target will ignore 12% of their ice resistance for 15 seconds. Repeated triggers will reset the duration. Now that's pretty good. You can hit them with it, and then you could like use his alt or his E, which would be nice. Now his C5 is actually the same as his C3, increasing your base attack, dodge, assist, special attack, and chain attack by 2. Now his C6 is a long one. So all shooting attacks. Not too sure what are shooting attacks. I will be honest. I'm gonna assume that's like his base. So all shooting attacks trigger Dark Abyss Reaver, which will multiply his, I don't quite remember exactly what it is. I'll go look at it once I'm done going over the cons, but I believe it's like gives him additional crit rate, crit damage, and then of course if you have to see one, it gives him more crit rate, crit damage, and then I believe it also allows Totalize to do more damage. Now to channel to the whenever Totalize is triggered, the damage is increased by 60%. And then the finishing move of his EX special attack also triggers Totalize effect when hitting an enemy that isn't stunned, boosting the damage multiplier, a finishing move by a fixed 1000%. Now those are all of his cons. Now, let's see. Dark, it's right here. Dark Abyss Reaver state, and repeated triggers reset the duration. During the state, Hugo's crit rate increases by 12 and his crit damage increases by 25. So that is what the Dark Reverb of this state does, increases his crit rate by 12 and his crit damage by 25. Now, I want to show off Hugo a little bit. So we are actually going to be fighting this guy with the ice resistance. Now, team-wise, I've run him with basically his best team. Him, his old friend Lycan, and this random dude from the Outer Ring. I think technically, and the Ice Bing Boo, Shark Boo, is better to have with them. Not sure about that. I like running Robin. Robin is in this team. I think Ice Boo's technically better to put with them, but I don't really care. Granted, if you don't have these pretty boys, any stun character, really just run him with 2 stun characters. If all you got is, I don't know, Ambi, which everybody's got, and like, I don't know. Let me sort them by stun. Ambi, Kaleda, Ambi, and Polker. I'd say throw them on there. Hugo wants your stunners. Give him 2 stunners. He will greatly appreciate it. It'll boost his damage. He wants the opponent to be stunned. His best ones are lighter. So good for him, given he increases the stun duration. I don't exactly recall exactly what he does, but he will definitely help boost your damage a lot, and he's a really good stunner. Besides that, just put 2 stunners with Hugo. That's all I have to say. One short complaint, though. I don't know why, but I mean, I understand the stun. Like, he's obviously going to be put with stun characters, but the same attribute gets on my nerves for the sole reason that you can't run him with a Vivian, and both of them have smiles. I don't think either of them have smiles. Let me check that real quick, actually. Um, Vivian and kick out lighter. Neither of them have smiles, and it annoys me to no end that you can't put these 2 together. Like, let me run the Mockingjays together and let them have smiles. Like, Vivian runs off only anomaly characters and same attributes, and he runs off only stun characters and same attributes. I want them to be able to be run together. Unfortunately, that's not how it is, so I wish you could just run them with Mockingjay. I wish you could run the Mockingjay people together. Anyway, we're gonna get to the battle before I go off on a full rant on that. Gosh, I wish you could run those Mockingjay people together. It would have been so much fun. And then I could have run Hugo with... I don't know what to pick. I should have picked the enemies that should have for longer. Oh well. My bad. Hugo with Vivian and Lycan, and they all have smiles. It would have been so much fun. But no. For some reason, Vivian and Hugo can't be matched up, and I don't know why. Anyway, that is my biggest complaint with Hugo's kit, is the fact that I can't actually pair him up with Vivian. And as you can see, I'm currently attacking as Hugo, so if, 20 seconds go by, blah, 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 blah. If I had him on 4 keys, Hormone. We want him to go last in our chain heist. I've messed up so many times where I put Hugo, or I have Hugo not going last. And it's so annoying. I really should try to make sure Lycan's not going to get hit like that. Because if they die, it's going to suck. Right, we'll hit his ult, and then we'll hit Lighter's ult. Alrighty, okay. Why did it take him so long to get stunned? Ult? Ha! That was some good damage. Sometimes he doesn't do great damage. I think it's solely because he doesn't crit that time. But sometimes I'm so annoyed by his damage output, and it's solely because he's not critting, because it's not like he has 100% crit chance or anything. It's so annoying sometimes when his damage is lower than I hope, because I know he can hit higher. Alright, hit him, stun him. Yes! That's what we're looking for. I don't think he's gonna quiet. I don't think he's got the power to take him out. Oh man. That's what I mean by disappointed. But, oh well. I hope he didn't move out of the way. I don't know if I've hit him yet. Get him like him. And don't die. I mean, you're barely holding on by a third, my dude. I'm just gonna use his ult here because the dude's almost dead. And it worked! I also do like it for that reason that I can have Hugo on the field a little bit longer, not having the 4-piece hormone set. I can have him on the field a little bit longer, and he will do more damage than if I had him on the 4-piece. Anyway, that is all for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. May you have a blessed rest of your day.